Hey guys, when I was editing this video, I realized that I didn't do an intro for it. And partially that's because it was the beginning of summer break and the kids were all home and it was a little bit crazy in the house. So I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Kim. You're watching Saving with Six. We go through jelly super fast in this house. So you're going to see 3 or 4 different recipes going on at the same time here because when I start canning, I just keep going and try to clean out the freezer as the best I can with all the leftover fruit we have in our house. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you stick around and see other videos. And without further ado, Canning Frenzy Day with all the kids home at the beginning of summer vacation, just trying to get everything done before we go on a long trip for the summer. So here I just dumped the apple peels and the cores and everything in this pot that were frozen in my bag in the freezer and added some water to it. I'm gonna boil these down and make apple juice. And I did the same thing over here with the plums and peaches I had chopped up. I'm just breaking them up with this meat masher. And I'm hoping to get about 5 cups of juice. For each cup of juice, we add about 3/4 cup of sugar. For any of the fruits that don't have a lot of natural pectin, we are going to add store-bought pectin. But for the apple jelly, you probably don't need to add store-bought pectin unless you really want to, unless you're worried about it setting up. And the strawberries that I canned earlier this week, those don't need pectin from the store either. You can do that just with sugar. So now I'm going to strain the juice out, and I'm going to do it through this dishcloth, and I doubled it so that none of the pulp ends up in the juice, and so the jelly itself will be nice and clear. So I have about 6 cups of juice here that I have from the apples that I had in the freezer. It was apple peels and apple cores, and then I added water to that and cooked it down. And then now we're going to make apple jelly out of it. I did the same thing with the plum. So this is the plums all cooked down, and we're going to dump these in here too and try to strain these out. So I'm going to strain this one more time through the cheesecloth just to get any last bits of pulp out of the plum juice because it was really thick. If you don't have time to make jelly after you make the juice, you can just freeze the bags of juice flat or in a container and then make jelly another time.
Yum. It smells so good. No. Smell it, everyone.
I can't smell it. It's not smell-o-vision. I've never used store-bought pectin before.
You didn't?
Nope. So we're just going to let that set right there. I'm just going to do 1 jar and show you, and then I'll process the rest. But you wipe the top with vinegar, and it gets all the extra, oh, this is super hot, all the extra gunk off the top. I do one, let you do the rest. I take a lid out of the water bath, and I pour all the jelly in first. Then I wipe them all down. Then I put the lids on each one. Then I screw the rings on. Then I place them all in the water bath at the same time. These are going to process for 10 minutes, but in my altitude, I'm going to do 15. I always add 5 minutes to my altitude. You can look at a guide online to see what altitude you're in by city and then add the time appropriately. For the pineapple jam, I'm going to put this pineapple that I took out of my freezer. It was the cores and what I had left from a pineapple that we didn't finish. And I just pulsed it and made it into basically liquid. It's 4.5 cups, and we're going to dump that into my pot. We're just going to stir this until it boils. So this is just the pectin and, oops, about half a tablespoon of butter to stop any foam. So we're going to cook this until it boils, and then I'll add the sugar. This recipe calls for 5.5 cups of sugar. Taking these jars out, I'm just going to let them cool, wait for them to pop, and then I'm going to write on the lids what we have in them. Plum Jelly. So this is a rolling boil. Now we're going to add in the 5.5 cups of sugar, which is so much sugar, but so delicious at the same time. My plum jelly, and then this will soon be pineapple preserves or pineapple jam, I guess. My favorite part of this is that big giant hole right there in the freezer I have, and the extra space I have on this shelf. See it? Oh, it glows. I had plums and pears here, and I had the pineapple down there, so all gone. Oh, and strawberries. I made strawberry preserves the other day. So yeah, those are red peppers. So I'm gonna put the red peppers here, bag of green peppers here, and now I have a little bit more room over here on the breakfast side. Yay! So now I'm gonna make blackberry jam. These are the blackberries that I had left over, and it's 6 cups, and my recipe calls for 9 cups. If I only have enough juice to make a portion of the recipe, I'm either going to cut down the sugar and make just a few jars, maybe 2 or 3 jars, or I'm going to make up the difference with apple juice over here, which has natural pectin in it also. And I think that'll taste fine. Apple and blackberry together should be a good combination. Figure out how much juice I have and what I think will be the best way to go at that point. Because I do want to make a couple of batches of apple jelly as well. And that's what I have for apple juice. This is a huge, giant pot. I don't know if you can tell, but there's probably about 6 cups of apple juice in there. This blackberry jelly is going to be basically the same process as the plum jelly I did earlier. In this one, we are not going to add pectin though. Raspberries don't need pectin, just like strawberries don't. So I am just going to add sugar to this, and it's about the same amount of sugar as you would add with the pectin, so there's no point. It will gel up just fine as it is, and I'm going to strain it out just like I did with the plums. Once you take the jars out of the water bath, I let them sit until they are sealed, and then I take the rings off and store them like this in my cabinet. And that is basically it. The process is the same. I'll put all the recipes down below for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them and get back to you. I have made strawberry, pineapple, blackberry, plum, and apple in this video. So I'll link all those recipes below. I also have a recipe for watermelon if you're interested. Watermelon rind, actually, if you're interested. And it is delicious. It tastes kind of like watermelon candy when you mix it with peanut butter. It's so good. So I will put that link down below as well if you want to try any of these jelly recipes. They're delicious. Canning is super easy. Give it a try. Don't be intimidated. Please try it. The water bath canning is so easy. Anybody can do it. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you'd like to subscribe to my other videos, please do so right here in the middle. Other videos that you might like are on the side. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in future videos.